Every word you speak about the reality that you are perceiving practices the vibration and keeps the momentum going. So the logical thing is to stop talking about it. Don't put words to it. That slows the momentum a little bit. The next logical thing is to do some processes that raise the vibration, but that's a hard way of going about it because the momentum is what it is. We're just going to give you the biggest of all justifications. And we're not kidding about this, and yet it is funny. Because we're talking all day, every day about not looking for the evidence of why things aren't working out well. But there is such an innate understanding within you that things are supposed to go well, that when they don't, it just feels freakishly wrong. And that evokes from you, not just you, but everyone, a tendency to try to explain why you're where you are. So you're doing two things. You're talking about where you are, and you're trying to explain why you're where you are. And those are the two things you've got to stop doing. And until you stop doing it, the momentum won't stop, because every day you start the momentum over again. And that's the thing that we really want you to hear. The momentum is not carrying on through your sleep state. The momentum is broken up by moments of alignment, which we know you do have. But every day you start this negative momentum over again. And you've just been doing it long enough that the negative momentum will carry you, not just through a day at the fair. Esther has been thinking a lot about Luke's day at the fair. And she wants to explain to him, because the tendency was to say, no one said it, but it could have been said. The reason that you didn't get up on the stage during Mermaid is because it was girls that they wanted. But Esther did not want to try to make his negative point of attraction all right. His negative point of attraction gave him a terrible day. Well, the joints are rigged, honey. Well, it doesn't matter. You could live in a fair where all of the joints are rigged and you can still win stuff. Law of attraction is still going to yield to somebody, you see. And so it doesn't matter how rigged it feels or how unjust it feels. The bottom line is you and you alone establish your point of attraction, and you get a redo every day. And if you get up tomorrow and you just do what you did yesterday, then you just continue to perpetuate the momentum. And we would like to say also that, oh, this is really good. This is really good. We're just going to savor this for a little while. You can't get more than one day's negative momentum going. You can't get more than one day's negative momentum going. But you get good at keeping it going, because you practice it, and in your practicing of it, you create stuff that you observe. But every day is a fresh day for new momentum. So here's what we're saying to you. Oh, we like this too. What we're talking about here is the likelihood. We don't like that word very much, but we're going to go with it just briefly. Or the tendency. Your tendency to find the high disc is influenced by the disc you found yesterday. Because the disc you found yesterday yielded manifestations that you're still talking about. Ooh, don't you like this? So let's go back again. You can only get one day's worth of momentum going, because you're going to slumber and that momentum is going to subside. And when you awaken in the morning, you can tell your sad story or a better story. You can tell the story of current reality, and parts of it are good. You can tell the good parts or none of it. Or you could talk in more general terms. There are things about your reality that have manifested that are worth noticing. Your earth spins in its orbit. It's so big and you rarely talk about it. You hardly ever talk about the magnificence of that momentum. You don't talk about the food that continues to grow. No new seeds being trucked in from other planets. The food continuing to grow. The seed continuing to know what to do. The life force of the seed continuing to know what to do. We know that these things seem far from the things that are concerning you. But if you could get far from the things that are concerning you, you would stop that momentum. Now, we're going to explain something to you. Almost no one understands this. You're going to get it easily. So, you came from source energy and really high-flying momentum. And you're born into a physical body with the potential of increasing that momentum, which you're doing. Because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And so each time you know what you do want, it increases that momentum of who you are really, who you have actually become. So this momentum of who you are is really moving fast. It's this very high, non-resisted vibration. And the momentum of that is calling all cooperative components into its sphere. All cooperative components are being gathered. Well, if you could be less resistant, meaning you've told the story a little less today than you did yesterday, that momentum would pull you closer to it. You would have a better day. It's like you're being pulled up this shaft of well-being, up this vibrational shaft of well-being. And it is so dominant that when you reemerge in a non-physical, you'll have the exaltation of that experience. Humans have messed that up with their screwy stories too, but that really is the way that it is. So when you approach a new day and you think, that high-flying vibration is calling me, and if I don't activate something in myself by focusing on it that is resistant in nature, then I'll easily move into it. I'll easily move into it. It's sort of like, how did the day at the fair get going? It's like, what happened first? It is so interesting to us that the whole thing started with a spinning wheel at the fair. In other words, the early moments sort of set the tone of how it's going to be. So days and days and days and months and months and months and years and years and years can go by of the same tone getting set and the same tone getting set and the same tone getting set, but it doesn't make any difference. You can set the new tone. The thing that we want to impart to you, that you have the ability to hear, and if you do, then you're home free on all of this. We don't want you to choose this high-flying disc so that you can get the job you want or get the relationship you want. We want you to choose the high-flying disc because all of the other ones are inferior to it. We want you to get the high-flying disc because it feels good and everything else feels less good. We want the high-flying disc for you because that's where clarity and exhilaration and fun and joy and appreciation and love and vitality and clarity and all of those things that you really are. We want that for you. All the other stuff will come, but so what? The only reason you want the other stuff is so you'll have fun and appreciation and love and clarity and joy and all of that. That's the reason you want it anyway. So can't you just sort of cut through the justification of why you need to do that and just accomplish it a little more today, a little more tomorrow than you did today, and a little more the next day than you did this day? So over time, we've broken this into 3 steps. We want you to understand that you're sifting through the contrast and you're asking all day, every day. That's step 1. Ask for what you prefer. Step 2 is not your work. Step 2 is the source within you, your inner being, that larger non-physical part of you, becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you have asked for. In the moment that you ask for it, and each thing that you ask for later, each amendment to desire that you offer goes into this spinning vortex. We want to demonstrate it here in this pure high vibration. Goes into this spinning vortex, and in that high flying, pure positive energy vortex. All that you have asked for already is. In other words, that larger part of you has become it. Now, this is where our physical friends get freaky, because it is so annoying to hear that everything that you want already is, because you want it to be is right here where you is. You want it to be here where you be. You don't want it to be off in some nebulous, non-physical, ghost-like atmosphere. We get that. But we just want you to know that the steps to the process are you ask and it becomes vibrationally first. And then you must find a way to be a vibrationally equivalent to what you're asking for. But you don't do that easily, because you've been practicing your observation of what is with such intensity and with so much drama and trauma and with so many people telling you, can't you see what is? Can't you see what is? Can't you see what is? That it's hard for you to hear someone like us say, never mind what is. Instead of noticing what is, let what is have been the bouncing off place for what really is, and now you try to find vibrational alignment with what really is, and then it will really, really, really be what is. You must become interested in the vibrational reality that you've created, because if you're not aware of it and interested in it and practicing consistently the vibration of it, you cannot achieve your point of attraction. You cannot get your point of attraction moving with the same momentum, in the same vibration, with the same velocity of what you've asked for. And until you do that, it's going to bounce right out of your experience. It cannot come to you unless you are a vibrational match to it. So the big key is, how can I be a vibrational match to abundance when I'm living the absence of abundance? How can I be a vibrational match to clarity when I'm standing in a state of confusion? And the answer to that question is, you've got to understand that it's a vibrational experience, not an observational experience. You've got to figure out how you can offer a vibration that is different from your observation. Or you've got to figure out how to observe with more specific, deliberate clarity of focus. So that's what we'll be talking about here today. You are deliberate creators? Well, maybe. Sometimes. You are the creator of your reality? Absolutely. You create some of it by default? For sure. You have the ability to be deliberate in everything you create? Absolutely. And by the end of this gathering, you will understand fully how to go about that. So, here you stand in your physical body, sifting and sorting and asking, doing step one so effectively, as individuals and as collective consciousness. And the evolution of all species is about exactly that. Contrast inspires you to want more. So source becomes vibrationally a part of what you have become, and establishes a vibrational frequency that you can never separate yourself from. And you can tell that that vibrational frequency exists because you have emotions that tell you that it does. When you feel elation, that's your indicator that you're right now in perfect resonance with that vibrational frequency. When you feel frustration, that's your indication that you are not in perfect resonance with that frequency, but you're not so far off from it. When you feel hopeful, you're closer to that frequency. When you feel love, you're right smack dab in the middle of it. When you feel clarity, when you feel elation, passion, you're right up to speed. When you feel despair, when you feel fear, you're really far away from that vibration. So this is a very important thing to understand. You've launched the rocket and it is part of you. And that source energy part of you from which you came, who always holds you in constant awareness, is holding the vibrational frequency of your greatest becoming, of your furthest most expansion. But if you don't get up to speed and stay up to speed with that expansion, then you feel the gap. And that's what negative emotion is. So once you understand this, now it will be easier for you to understand how simple your work really is. It's so much more simple than you have believed it to be. You've been working pretty hard at life. You observe things wanted, and things unwanted and you sift them into piles. Don't want that.